So for my speech, I would just like to talk about bodybuilding and fitness, overall fitness as a whole, and how it is important and why it should matter. I would just like to talk about a little bit of the history first, talking from Tiger Fitness. They said that the 1960s and 1970s were definitely the golden era of what people would say of bodybuilding, and that's when it started really getting picked up into the mainstream. Yes, it had been. Bodybuilding was roughly from the 1800s, late 1800s, and it converted into what it is now. But the 60s and 70s can be credited for really kicking it off and making it into the limelight, with a movie even made about Arnold Schwarzenegger and about the competition that took place in the 1970s. That was called Pumping Iron. And I'd just like to fast forward a little bit to now, roughly 2020. Everyone was in lockdown, everyone was in their house. And so that's when people just stopped being active. But according to the National Liberty of Medicine, roughly once COVID hit and people had been in lockdown for a little bit, roughly 70% of people um, started lifting and exercising just regularly because since there was nothing much else to do, it was estimated that 70% of people started lifting and exercising more regular. And from my experience too, being in high school at that time, I started noticing a surge and an influx of just fitness content overall starting to appear again and starting to really just pop up on my For You page on TikTok and on Instagram and basically anywhere I would go, there's just an influx of just bodybuilding content or just fitness content. A lot of rise of fitness influencers at the time would arise, and I'd see a lot of people pop up, and it was just kind of inescapable at the time. And I feel, and it also just really had from my experience, and I wasn't even involved with it at the time, but I did notice that a lot of just content was being pushed towards just Instagram and towards social media at the time. But then I just want to talk about some of the benefits of fitness. So the CDC says that a big contribution of just being physically fit and active and just going out uh is basically you get a lot of more mental clarity. It can help with mental health issues that some people might have. It can also assist with helping cardiovascular disease and preventing disease as a whole. And so a lot of people don't realize that it actually is totally great for people and why it really should just be part of everyone's regular staple everyday routine. Just going out, even walking for 50 minutes a day by scientists is the minimum. And that is just a big part of the benefits as well. And also just overall transferring from not just the gym, but it can also transfer into real life. Uh, I have also noticed that just being in the gym has also helped my own ambition in life and in school and pushing harder for jobs, pushing harder for just wanting to be better at my grades. And it has been proven that just doing that, just simply lifting and wanting to achieve goals in the gym will also transfer to goals in real life. And that is just a big part of why it totally just inspires people as a whole, and why it is very important, why it should really should matter and should be talked about more.